Hi guys, back in business. This is episode 2 of the Citroën saga. Can I make this 1,000 euro car go to Greece in August? Yeah, it's gonna be a 3,500 kilometer trip, and it's gonna be fun. For now, I got a very long checklist. I made a checklist, it's like 1, 2, almost 3 pages. No, just 2 pages of stuff that I need to check before I can say we can go. So basically, the most important thing right now is the inspection that I have, the annual inspection that I have on the 29th of April that I need to perform. So there's some stuff to check on the car before I can go there, and we're gonna make some more episodes, with all the inspections and all the checks that I do on the car before I can say it's MOT ready. So what I'm gonna check is all the wiring, because I used to have a lot of loose wiring and non-insulated wiring. I'm gonna check everything, check all the fuses in the fuse box for corrosion. So there's a lot of dust in there. This one doesn't look okay. So I got the ECU here. Everything seems to be in place, but you know how it is. A lot of hands went through here, and sometimes mechanics or just forget to put stuff back. So, yeah. I'm gonna use some isopropyl alcohol to clean everything, all the contacts. There's another fuse box here. These are high amperage fuses for things like the automatic gearbox. They tend to corrode. Those things the terminals tend to corrode, and you can have errors related to, as I said, for example, gearbox and high power consumers. And it's a pretty good idea to check the torque and clean them with electric contact contact cleaner or isopropyl alcohol. So all of these need to be checked. Also on my list, I gotta check where I can. I'm gonna check the grounds, for example, grounding, like you see there on the chassis. Because what happens with these models, sometimes water goes through here, doesn't go through the proper channels to drain. So what it does, it just soaks here everything, and I can actually feel it back there. It's a bit moist, so moisture comes inside here and just soaks everything up, and you can have a lot of problems. So yeah, at some point I will remove this plastic cover and tray and try to reattach it properly and reattach the drain, because each and every time, almost every time it goes to a mechanic, they're not, I don't know, either they don't like doing this stuff, putting it back, and it's always comes back improperly, seated and fixed. Okay, so the next step that I'm gonna do is I need a good battery before summer comes up. It's now spring, beginning of spring, but the battery is about 4 or 5 years old, and it may be possible. It's pretty old. So in the summer, and when temperatures go way above 40 degrees Celsius, what can happen is this is just gonna die on me. So I'm gonna test it a bit. I don't have any consumers on, and I'm just gonna, it's been sitting here for about 3 hours. I'm just gonna test it with a multimeter and see I'm gonna test the voltage on it, and also I'm gonna start the car and see if my alternator, which is new, is charging properly. Just connected one terminal of the multimeter there on the plus on the battery. Just find a minus anywhere you can. I just chose my inspection sheets are flying away. So got my multimeter here, set it on DC 20 volts, connected one terminal here on the plus terminal of the battery, and just find a minus somewhere on the chassis, or I just prefer the cover for the turbo. I got about 12.5 volts. The car's been sitting for about 3 hours. It's not fully charged, and well, the alternator is new. We're just gonna test that and see what's the voltage of the regulator. It should, I think the battery's fairly old, and it might be possible that until I go to Greece in August, I think I'm gonna change it. I'm gonna find the proper amperage battery and just change it. I don't need, for this car, I don't need a AGM battery or EFB, or how, I think that's what it's called, because this doesn't have start stop and doesn't have a smart alternator which recovers energy. A normal battery, I think it would be sufficient. I will see. So 12.5, we're just gonna start up the engine and see how the alternator charges it. Started it already. The regulator just set the charging voltage to 1427, so 14.3 volts. It means that it's I think it's pretty, the battery's about 60, 70, more like almost 70% charged. It's pretty stable, so that's fine, no problems there. Yeah, so on my electrical list of checks that I got to do, as I said, all the wiring will be checked. I'm gonna get back to you in a video with that. Okay, so here on the list I got put a load on it. It's still charging properly. I also heard the hydraulic pump in the gearbox, like the hydraulic pump just started, and pressure is voltage is pretty stable. Consumers here, voltage is stable, no problems here. Alternator is charging well. New alternator, so it should charge well, right? Also, I heard the pump from the gearbox. There's an small electrical pump there that pulls, like sucks oil from that tank there and sends it to the pressure accumulator. There's a small sphere underneath which accumulates, hydraulic pressure, and when it is needed by the actuators to change gears or actuate the clutch, it just has pressure stored internally. Yeah. So, went to get the flashlight. So, you can see there's the tank where the hydraulic fluid is stored. You can't actually tell and check the level when the engine started, or you have the key inside, or the driver's door open, because the pump's gonna pressurize it and level's gonna go down. So basically, the proper way to check the level on this thing is to either leave the hood open, and at some point after a few hours it just depressurizes, or the proper way to do it is get the dive box and the OBD cable and interface, and just go through the menus in the ECU, like the gearbox ECU. Just go there and depressurize it. Then you can check the level. I've done that and it levels fine. Another thing that I have to do is change the gearbox, like the gear oil, which is separate from that hydraulic oil there. I gotta do that, but the drain plug, it is underneath, and this one has a steel under tray. I gotta remove that, and it doesn't have like a level port, so you can't actually check the level. But from my internet Google adventures, I found out it's about 2.2 liters of 75/80 oil. So fluids, I gotta check for leaks. I did check. I usually do it like every week or so. I check for leaks, oil leaks, coolant leaks. This engine does have it is notorious for oil leaks everywhere. So yeah, it's gonna be interesting. Main source, I would say, as I've studied so far, is this camshaft cover breather pipe here, which kind of feeds feeds oil mist in the whole system, and yeah, it kind of it just leaks everywhere. And I do have another leak. It's here at the turbo actuator. Actually, I don't actually know where it comes from. My assumption is it leaks from here, from the turbo outlet, and it's just oil mist coming from the camshaft cover. I did change there's a membrane here that I changed. It's inside. There's a membrane here, and I did change that one, and I think it's better, but yeah, well, we'll see. So oil leak here, nothing too bad. It's like, I don't know, 100, 200 milliliters of oil per, I don't know, 8,000 kilometers. So it's pretty much okay. Another thing with these engines, if we're checking for leaks, is the injectors. The injectors do have the tendency to get loose a bit. Those nuts there, I don't look at them. Those nuts get loose. So once in a while you gotta check if you have black tar close to the injectors. This one doesn't have tar, but does have some oil, which I suspect comes from the crankcase. Camshaft cover. So the inlet air manifold was changed on this car, so I'm pretty confident that the seals for the injectors were changed. But anyway, I need to check if those nuts are up to spec, and just monitor if in time I get black tar somewhere close to those injectors. No coolant leaks anywhere. Coolant level has been pretty much okay for the past year. I checked the radiator, so there are no leaks there. I'm pretty confident that it will hold this summer. Yeah, like steering servo pump is there somewhere buried underneath. That's where you check the level. I did check the level and it's a bit high. Somebody just was overfilling it at some point. It's electric. It does have an electric pump, so it's not driven by the accessory belt. What I'm going to do now is check the turbo shaft for play. I'm just going to get take a pair of pliers and take we call it collier, which is funny. We call it a necklace. Yeah, I'm gonna just move it here, check for any other leaks. Now it seems to be okay. So yeah, it's out. So the turbo inlet pipe is out. I don't see any scoring in there. I'm just gonna check the play. So a bit of radial play like this, it's okay. Like not like that much, just a bit. So a bit of radial play is allowed. Axial play is not. So you cannot go that way. So there's minor radial play in the turbo, no axial play, and the leak is coming from this O-ring here. There's an O-ring inside. I gotta order the part and change it. So the leak comes from here, just oil mist just drips. I did change the oil about 6,000 kilometers ago. I'm just gonna leave it in an engine for about 1,500 more until I reach 260,000 kilometers. I usually don't exceed 10,000 kilometers with the oil inside, so I change it at 10,000. Always proper oil, 5W30 total oil. Ineo, it's called, I think, Ineo, ECS. So it's got the norm for this engine, and it should be okay. So about 2 days after sitting outside, it's 12.23 volts. So, but my battery is I think it's giving up. So gotta change it.